wonderful. Thank you very much for coming. I'm a motivational speaker. I'll first cover who I am, where I'm from, and years in sales. And then if we could, please, because we have a smaller group in size, anything under 20, I like doing more participatory things. So you're in for a treat, you're under 20. Group size, not age. So with that, I'd like you to go around the room after I'm done and who you are, where you're from, and years in sales. Like a mini briefing so we can get to know each other better. I found that that's the most effective in sales coaching. And one of the things I've done and developed in 2022 is I'm a virtual sales coach. As cool as that sounds, I thought, I had that idea 20 years ago. No, maybe more 10. When things were changing, I'm an expert in the plumbing industry, a little bit about who I am. I worked for Kohler Company right out of college. And at 24, I'm a salesperson here twice with the company, the top sales award. And then they started sending me all the new trainees to train with me in Des Moines, Iowa, of all places. Train with Mike, he's the best we got. He's the youngest, he's just newly trained. He's fired up. We got, he's a future manager, blah, 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 all that stuff. And I ate that, chewed it twice. 3 years, they sent me all the new trainees. I'm doing 2 jobs. My ex-wife finally said, you get paid for one, you're doing 2 full-time jobs. I said, never thought of it that way. I looked at it as a compliment to sending me all the trainees to train. And deep down, it was because that's what I wanted to do the rest of my life. I love training people in how to improve behavior. Improvement and coach athletically. I played basketball, baseball, golf myself. Personally, a couple years of football before I banged my knee up. But I love helping people get into something that they're passionate about and improve doing it. That's why I love sales coaching, sales training, and being a virtual sales coach. And by that, I am to the plumbing industry. But the top 20 wholesalers of the top 100 I work with, I pick and choose them. Put them on a chart and go, I want to work with that firm. Family owned, 3rd or 4th generation firms. You develop a relationship with, you'll tell who I am by just my knowledge here. You get to know the family, get to know the relationships, get to know the people involved. You learn to love their customers. You'll do a better job for them than you will. And no offense, I'll say Ferguson or Westburn up in Canada. Firms that they really run you through quickly. They're more of the bigger companies, the square box and the organizational chart, and I'm not that guy. I never fit in a square box. I'm a little big, but never fit. So who I am, a little bit of background. Once again, Kohler trained, luckily coaching early on in my career, and then I found my passion. And I left the company at 27 years old and started my own firm, Motivational Speaking, Sales Training in Des Moines, Iowa. Just a shingle off to the side because I was doing it off to the side anyway, but they weren't paying me. Okay. Right here in Grafton, by the way. So 1981 Grafton High, 59 years old. This is about what 59 looks like. Sorry, I turned to the side. I lost about 50 pounds in the last year. About 6 months. So I'm excited about that. Years of sales my whole life. You have a resume, you're in sales. Come on, folks. You gotta sell yourself. If you're married, you have to sell yourself to your bride or your groom, right? That dating thing is, jostling around trying to look best, right? That's selling ourselves. But a little background on me, okay? I'd like to learn more about you. And yes, Pam, we'll limit you last because I want to hear your background too. We can start over here. Here we go.
Trevor, from Slinger.
Okay.
Work over at Ram Tool. Been in sales about a year and a half now.
Okay. And RAM is a product, not a service, correct? Products? Product sales.
We offer service.
Oh, you do? Okay, nice. So it's really both. Good. Okay, thank you, sir.
Scott Weiler with Cedarburg, working with Steve Careers and Staffing, had decades in sales.
The services, correct? Great job. Decades in sales. Thanks, Scott. What's your position here now, your title?
I'm a business development partner, outside sales.
I love those titles. Don't you? Okay, next. Thank you. Right here.
Jim Meyer, I'm with Private Financial. We have an office in Cedarburg.
Nice. You do things on your own, Jim, like financial planning for individuals and help people, or not necessarily?
Pardon?
You do things on your own at all, or just straight through the company? Like if people need help and advice.
Yeah, I'm not independent.
Okay.
I'm actually captive with Ryan.
Okay. Thank you.
I own daily design for small.
Yep.
And it's sales and servicing window treatments for.
Fantastic. Okay. Amy?
I'm Amy Luft. I am a sales consultant in the senior healthcare industry. I currently work for Comfort Keepers. I live here in Grafton. Been here almost 30 years. I'm a village trustee, and my passion is working with veterans. So I'm a district president for the American Legion Auxiliary, and one of the co-founders of Stars and Stripes Honor Flight.
Wonderful, thank you. And wonderful person.
I'm the executive director of the breakfast business, and while my main job really, people would assume that I do sales, I'm selling products and services and sponsorships and people and businesses every day. And I've been with the chamber 20 years.
Beautiful. Kind of what I thought. We're switching a lot here in our country, Wisconsin directly, manufacturing to non-service sector. You know, predictable answer. I even asked my mom, what do you think this will be? She said, well, years ago, we sold a lot of stuff here. I said, I know, Mom, but where is it now, you think? Well, it's got to be that way. I said, I bet at least 1/3, if not 1/4 services. Sure enough. And I'm surprised not more real estate people are here. Maybe they're funny about who they sit next to. I don't know those people. They're kind of funny anyway. Financial planning people, I expected more independence, to be honest. I don't know how you get your business. If it's all word of mouth and referral, fantastic. We'll talk about how important that is. By the way, the #1 word in sales, I'll jump around a little bit because I like teaching that way. I think the brain works best that way. You'll never know what you're going to get. And you can't fall asleep on me because I'll have some golden nugget right behind it. Thanks for laughing. I'm also doing comedy, so if I talk too fast, I apologize. I'm used to that pace of being on stage, and the next joke has got to be 6 to 10 seconds away from the last. The #1 word in sales. Anyone want to guess what it is? #1 word in sales. 71% of sales will get you this. 5 letters long. Begins and ends with the same letter. Oh, man. Did you cheat on my notes? You're good. Why is trust? Anybody? Why is that by far, most important word in sales? You guys are smart. Yes, sir.
I think the only way that you're going to get somebody to either purchase your product or purchase your service is they have to be comfortable with you. If they're not comfortable with you, you can have the best product, best service around.
100% without a doubt. Guaranteed. The difference, it wasn't product so much. Product kind of carried itself years ago. And I'll be an example. When I started with Kohler, we had a washerless faucet promotion. This will take you back in my plumbing industry career, but it's very appropriate. I took a Kohler washerless faucet in 1988. We came up with this brand new. We had to sell this thing through our wholesalers because we didn't have a retail market back then. It's got to go through 750 customers in the country, or that's it. We have no other market to get to the homeowner and the consumer. So I had that faucet, the Kohler from Kohler, and I took the Delta Delix faucet where I lived in an apartment in Des Moines, Iowa. Took it out, put my faucet on there. This is how it looked, and and the guy goes, "Where we get the new faucets? I'll give you a better one." Just shut up about it. So I took their Delta Delix and I took it to plumbers. Just take a look at it. What do you think? What is this? I go, that's the Delta Delix. You know that. You put thousands of those last year. And they did. All these big plumbing contractors are used to that. What's this thing? Kohler's new washerless. Really? Probably more expensive. First thing I heard. Nope, $2 less. Next question. Held a stare. I was ready. Every objection they had, I had a better answer. How's your valve here? These Delta people give me free valves. You know why? They break down a lot. Ours is ceramic, not plastic. This is when ceramic was in as a plumbing valve. 88. We had everything in this thing. They invested billions in just the washerless faucet market because they were losing out. They gotta have the faucet business. You need one washerless faucet to carry the whole bandwagon of all your other faucets you sell. And they make a lot of money in the high end, but you gotta have a white bread or a whole wheat bread one. You have to have the basic. He goes, what about this thing on top? I like that. It was the spout. It was shaped like this. When you brush your teeth and spit, it doesn't sit on top. It wasn't flat. It was shaped. It just ran off. Well, that's kind of cool. I said, I know. I spit on mine every morning. What? I put mine in. This is the faucet for my apartment. How much is this again? As soon as you get them thinking price, quality, service, remember that in sales? PQS, right? Price, quality, service, pick any 2 out of 3. That was a plumber's bumper sticker in Missouri. Never forgot it. What are you traveling around? You travel with salespeople, you learn things from them, and hopefully they pick up from you. That's a lot of my job is sales coaching on the fly with people in the car, making sales calls. I love doing it. Did it with Kohler. That's how it worked. Driving around, you see bumper stickers with other plumbers and trucks. You go to the same places. I said, price, quality, service. On a bumper sticker, pick any 2 out of 3. Think of that. That's right? You want quality? It's going to cost you. If you don't, I can't help you. I only sell quality, right? Ram tool. You want the best? We get something to talk about. If you don't, well, there's a whole bunch of other people out there. A lot of those manufacturers over there, you gotta ship over in the boat, you might get there, you might not. How many of those do you need? We got those in stock. You said you're gonna go over there for a buck and a half? Really? US made, dude? Come on. We'll play golf on Saturday? I mean, all the relationships, pull them back around to what works best for us, right? And most of your customers are like, yeah, you know, right? Works. I know it does. I just sense it, you guys. Same approach. So White, price, quality, and service, pick any 2 out of 3, right? And then how can we manipulate that? When he asked the price objection for me, a couple bucks less. Well, what's that based on? Buying 1,000? No, based on the first one you buy. Why? Because that's when we set the promotion up. The promotion lasts for 6 months. We're in here for 6 weeks. We're Kohler Company. That's a 6 month. You know what we're gonna do after that? Extend it another 6 months. We're not stupid. We're just gonna keep extending it until you get all your business. That's how they think. They want not a piece. They want it all. And Mr. Kohler said that at the meeting. He got up and spoke about this faucet. This must be successful. When you see a billionaire, at the time, now he's 81. He was late 40s. This must be successful. It must be. You must sell this. You must get every account number in your territory. I had 11 distributors in Iowa. Now figure this out, 2.5 million people, that's it. 11 distributors. I had 2 in Fort Dodge, Iowa. I found 40,000 people. I got them all to get an initial stocking order in, every single one. My boss in Chicago goes, how'd you do that? How'd you get those 4 that are barely still a distributor, hanging on with the minimum amount of purchases annually to maintain the distributorship? How'd you get them to buy? I go, I pulled it through, Dave. Pulled through marketing. I went to all the plumbers that buy from them and said, can I count on you for an order from Fort Dodge, from the distributor in Fort Dodge? Can I count on you? You got it. And I got all these, I got you. It's okay, I'll give them a call. Here's my card, tell them I want 50. That's how you do it. That's how you had to do it. The old school way, the hard way, pulling it through the system. Does that make sense for anybody, and how you can relate that to other industries and products and services? Now, getting back to services, because most people here are selling services, right? That's a lot of product stuff, I get that. But I wanted to touch on that because we have a few people touch on this thing. Getting back to services, how does service selling differ from product selling? Talked about relationship and trust initially, right? How else does it sell? How else is it different? Selling a service versus a product. Anybody? Yes.
You don't have a physical product.
Correct. Nothing to touch and feel. Yep. Anything else? What comes to mind first? First inclination.
Based on people's performance.
Sure.
And service.
Right. And perceived value.
Yeah.
Correct. Yep. I like the PV. I like perceived value. Performance, perceived, what they value is important. Now, obviously, you have to let them think it through and talk it through. But that's where I give them the product and shut up. Selling a product. Service is a lot like that too. Let me show you what I all have. Let me show you the full menu, A to Z. I'm not just a sales trainer. I love doing meetings, small and medium-sized groups. I excel at that. And give me a meeting up to 40 people, that's the best. Because I'm kind of a Dale Carnegie graduate. I taught Carnegie, I took Carnegie. Carnegie limits his meetings to 40 people because it's the best number for a meeting. You have 2 rows of 20, or 2 groups of 20, a middle thing down the middle. It could be an hour long or 3 hours long, but Carnegie figured out that 40 is the optimal number. Enough banter, enough play, enough feedback, and enough open-minded people there. That's the greatest number. So if you ever shoot for meeting quality, go for 30 to 50, go for 40. Yeah, that's the magic number. But Carnegie said, in selling a service, it's more than just a trust factor. It's beyond that. It's the relationship built up through time. And isn't that true too? And where does that come from? Relationship to me is another name for referral. In services, how much of your business in selling a service is a referral basis? You know somebody. I mean, my dad kissed you in the cheek. I hope to work with you with the Legion group coming in Milwaukee in August 27th. I marked the date because the Iowa group still wants me to be a comedian. Isn't that funny? Because I have comedic stuff for the Legion guys and some of my dad's VFW humor. And my dad was a funny guy he just told funny stories. I do the same thing a little bit quicker pace and faster, but still the story is the same and the person's just a little taller, that's all. But you see how that relationship revolves around referrals? And in services, once again, I get a lot of my business from referrals too. Of those 20 wholesalers around the country, you don't think I ask, if I'm missing somebody once in a while to all these customers that are clients of mine, they don't all buy every year. But I'm on their virtual sales coach short list of resources that are great, which is a huge thing to be. Even if they don't have a meeting for 2, 3, 4 years, I'm still at that resource list. If they get 5 new salespeople and they open a new branch, Mike, I want you to travel with these guys for 3 weeks straight. Okay, I need them to learn what they know, what you know right now, tomorrow. And you need to get to Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And I'll do that. I'll spend three weeks in Lancaster. But what a nice gig. I love doing it. Love the part of the country, play some golf with my friends. And then you're traveling with these guys every day and they're learning and you're picking up new things. Does that make sense? And that's all referral based. So referrals and trust and services and trust really go a long way there. Let's take a, you know what to do now? You can mind me, remember? We're going to play a game. We're going to pair off, find a partner, and for 3 minutes, I want you to hold, we're almost halfway through. 3 minutes, hold a conversation with your partner without using the word I. Oh yes, we're doing it again. Now you guys are really smart and been through this before. You're still gonna enjoy it because we're gonna put you with different people, okay? So let's take a moment right now. Find a partner. We have 3, 6. Oh, everybody's got a partner. I'll watch that. You guys have to do it. If you would please stand up and go by your partner, or you don't have to stand up, but sit next to him. Whatever comfortable. Yeah. And then, real simply, the rules are 3 minutes, hold a conversation, doing whatever you guys talk about, but just try not to use the word I, okay? Ready? Begin. If you do say I, just keep going, have fun with it. That's 1 minute already, 1 minute. If you just say it, just keep going. That's the one.
You gotta point it out.
Oh yeah, totally. Oh yeah. You know it.
Yeah.
2 minutes, about 30 more seconds.
Yeah.
10 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. Anybody make it the full 3 minutes? No. No, gotcha. Close, good for you. Good for you.
If you ask more questions, it's a
Totally. Which of course is my first question. What techniques did you use? And mine was the same way. I figured out when the guy instructed to me to do it, well, I'm gonna ask questions, be on the offensive, I'll control the conversation. So what questions did you ask? Where you're from and all that stuff? Or yeah, nice. You very good technique. Besides asking questions, what other techniques work to not say I? Slow down. Amen. Hard for me, right? Well, in this environment too, where you're presenting, but still I have a normal pace to my pitch and my tone, and that's who I am. I can't change me. I have to be Socrates and know me, know thyself. Slow down and ask questions. Anything else come to mind about how best to not say I? I know you did right away, but still. What caught you up? What question did you?
We were actually discussing it, that we were both asked. It's very easy to.
Oh, sure.
Because
Then you got all excited and go, oh, what were they thinking? Hey, what did you do? Sorry, common ground, boom. That's also very funny. When you get common ground, if you ever find it, even with strangers, I have common ground in the weirdest places. Where was I? I got so excited, I said, you need to be quiet. Oh, I was at Memories in Port Washington. out on LL. Okay, I'm a comedian. I'm trying to get in there doing some comedy. I'm local. My last name is Piron. My family's from Belgium. Everybody knows my family. I go in there and go, Mike, I have like, of the 200 people there, 16 know who I am. Okay, I walk in there saying hi to me. Are you on stage? I go, not yet. You have to get an agent from Chicago to get you on stage here. Long story short. I called him twice, hasn't called back. I get his voicemail and his email. I get all this stuff again. So I'm just hanging out the bar because I'm supposed to be at Circle B going, let's get ready to rumble. I do that voice like Michael Buffer. But only if he's not there, because I get sued for $1 million. True story. He could sue me for $1 million because he knows I do the voice. He wasn't there. But I had to hurry from there to there. And I met all these people that knew me. And the funniest place is I got connected with a guy who says, who's really tall. I said, God, did you play hoops? He goes, yeah. I said, what do you mean, yeah? You're like 6'8". He goes, well, 6'9". Okay, I'm sorry. Because I'm 6'4". I go, okay, that's close. Where'd you play? He goes, Heartland. I go, the University of Heartland? He goes, again. I married a girl from Heartland. My first wife was from Heartland. He said, oh, well, good for you. I said, not really, we're divorced. But the point of the story was, his last name was May, and he played in the 2010 championship team that beat in the semifinals my team from Appleton East that my son was on. Okay, I went to Madison, the whole deal, and I kept telling the team in 4th grade, I touched on this in my last presentation. In 4th grade, I said, we're going to be state champs. If we're not, we're going to be close. We got a Mater on the team. Dave Mater's nephew. Dave Mater played for the Badgers. He's 6'10". Sam Mater, his nephew, 6'8". We had another Mater. Noah Mater is 6'9" to this day. Played volleyball at UWM. You got a 6'9" guy in the middle, probably, when he's a senior. And we have a bunch of other guys that are role players that say, we better be close to state or I'm going to be ticked off. And sure enough, we worked toward that the whole time. Long story short, this May guy really liked me. Thought I'm really funny at the bar. We're chatting and very loud because we're connecting on basketball and comedy. He goes, would you mind performing on Lake Okachi this summer with a bunch of boats tied up? I said, yes and yes. Just don't be August 27th because that's hanging up my stuff at the Legion. Can you imagine how much fun it would be with Marquette grads on Okachi with pontoon boats tied up with free beer and yeah, me being funny. Yeah, I can't wait. But how did it get there? Just relationship building, waiting for an opportunity, waiting to use the bathroom, and waiting to say hi to Kevin, who was on stage that night, who went to Whitewater. Well, I know, and he played hoops at Whitewater. So I got to say hi to Kevin, and then go off to Circle B and go, let's get ready to rumble to that 6'8" guy. Okay, all that as an aside. That was my Saturday night last night.
But just wait.
Yes, sir.
Get into memories?
I didn't get in yet. I performed there at the bar, and the owner kept saying, you need to calm down and be quiet. Everybody's talking. I said, about what? They're coming through the buffet. Because the buffet walks right past the bar. I'm just standing there drinking my beer quietly with a couple of my books on the table and my business card. Doing nothing except playing hi to people. Hey, Mike, what's up? Hey, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Everybody knows me because I'm from the area. Once again, that's like a home field advantage. I said, plus, like, I'm 20 minutes away. You guys can pick up the phone and call me if somebody can't make it through a snowstorm. I've been through a snowstorm before. Call me, for Pete's sake. I'll get here. I'll bail you out and save some money. What did we learn about the eye game? What did you learn about that? Come on, pretty obvious. What did you learn about the eye game? I played it too. What'd you learn? Come on, I know you know the answer. We're all just a little self-centered. Why though? Don't say it's because we know ourselves best. That's it. But when you play around the room and you get to know people, how quickly you become partners and bond with them. That's why I did that early on. Especially with smaller groups in sales. Every chance you get, and you have enough time in your meeting space, get them going, get them talking, have them open up so everybody gets more comfortable with your environment. Because when you start a meeting, every meeting I've ever been part of, the only tension is, well, there's 3 parts of tension. Speaker audience, which is normal. You haven't heard me yet, or a couple did, but most haven't, let's say. Speak at attention. The people in the room is attention. You don't know each other yet, right? Unless you say, how you doing? Hey, what's your problem? Here's my card. Great to meet you. Little of that stuff. And then the tension is among the group itself. We've never been together as a group. So 3 little tensions. If you can solve all 3 of those early on, it's a great meeting. Then more productivity comes out. And even if it's among people who are teammates, another little hint here. If you have team meetings at RAM and things like that, have them open up and tell a quick little 20-second snippet about their weekend or something. It just warms the room up and we're all on the same page. And I went first. You can, as the leader, you can go last. That shows respect because you work with these people every day. Have them go first. There's a little bit about how we used to run internal meetings, and it's amazing the respect that goes around the room when it happens. because you're all given it ample time to talk. For some people, it means everything because they might not talk a lot at work or even have a role that requires them to speak up. But even those people, if they're touched by that, that's a great thing. I always put this up here because I like talking about it. The Carnegie class, anybody else take Dale Carnegie in their career? Never? Any? Human relations or sales? A couple, yes. Okay. Did you take both sales and human relations or just the, oh, just the sales one? Nice. They have an excellent the sales advantage program with Carnegie's phenomenal. Good for you. I took the human relations course when Kohler paid for it. I was part of 1/3 of their sales force because in 1988, we said, let's watch the faucet. Herb said, we need to get these guys going. I need them all on the same page. Paid for Carnegie for the whole staff. We couldn't write the check for Carnegie. We could have. He knew what it was. He chose to go 1/3 of the sales staff in 1 year, 1/3 of the sales staff the next year, 1/3 the final year. So I jumped ahead in the line because I'm a volunteer guy. I'll go first, darn right. Took the first class, I wanted to quit my job at Kohler and join Carnegie. That's how quickly it affected me. And you can appreciate it, right? All the things that are my skill set, my soft skills, it's Carnegie. He wanted to be an actor, Dale Carnegie did. He started a speaking course at the YMCA in like 1921. His books have sold hundreds of millions of copies. This is the one cover one, how to win friends and influence people. The other book is where this comes from. It's how to stop worrying and start living. Anybody have any stress in here besides me? Any stress at all? Okay, sure, we do. Well, do. Some days are rougher than others. If you need to, write this down on the side of your margin. A friend of mine from high school once said, of all the programs and other speakers I've ever heard, it's a friend of mine from high school, so I trust her. She said, what you did about stress was the best thing I've ever heard, and I keep it to this day on my desk. This is about stress and how other people can affect us. Some will like me, SWLM, plus some will not, equals so what? I still have Penny Bruckner from Grafton High that doesn't like me because I broke up with her girlfriend back in high school in freshman year. I really don't care about Penny Bruckner. If you know her, good luck, kumbaya. It's okay. She never liked me. Okay? That's one for sure. She probably told other girlfriends not to like me too. Okay, it's a handful there. No wonder I dated girls from Homestead my senior year. The girls at Grafton abandoned me. True story. Also, they had cars and more money, so it's funny. I'm no fool. I am no fool. Doesn't that help? Someone like me, someone not so what? You can't control that, right? You do your best. You're who you are. Be true to yourself. And you know yourself. You know, Socrates, know thyself. I'm a big believer in that. I'm also a psychology guy, if you can't tell. I do a lot of Myers-Briggs stuff because I love that stuff. I'm a marketing major from Whitewater, psychology minor. My thought was, I'm going to sell to you while I'm figuring you out and figuring out what I'm trying to sell to you. Just that wheel of fortune and wheel of knowledge. My son's a school psychologist. He and my daughter both got the psychology thing going on. In Milwaukee Public Schools, he's 29, just turned 30, lives in Shorewood. Married, his wife is the Humane Society Special Event Coordinator, Jesse. They're a wonderful couple. But Joey has to trap the mice that they find in their house in Shorewood and let them go in a park because you don't kill animals. And I said, Joey, you're a bigger man than I. I'm going to just chuck him out the window. He's a mouse, but I respect your wife for that, and I appreciate what you do. My daughter Jennifer's in Minneapolis coming down this weekend. Her birthday's the 27th, and she turns 27th of March. She's a school social worker, but has a minor in psychology too. My ex-wife was a special ed teacher up in Appleton, where we had the kids and all that. We Appleton East High School. She was a CISA 6 administrator, and then she's at Oshkosh now as the dean of special ed, I think, for all those schools. So she's kind of up there. But she wanted that, and that's great. A lot of achieving. Why is this important? Anybody about the stress thing? 84% of all adult communication today is negative. I'll repeat that. It's horrible. Meaning the news you see on TV, 84% you use to follow. The newspaper you used to read, 84%. The stuff on your feeding on your phone, 84% is negative. The flyers even, the notes in email, the emails that sometimes, why are you even bother sending me this? It's just ticking me off. It's people that want to bring you down to their level. I swear to God, some of the people are out to bring you down to their level. Two kinds of people in the world, dream builders and dream destroyers. I'm getting a little motivational here, but I have a hard time predicting where I'm going to go. Okay, dream builders are the people that support your dream 100%. I can tell you who they are in my life. And they jump out. And I've been there times that are unbelievable. Some dream destroyers, though, are within your own family. It's hardest for me to say, My sister, she lives in California. She retired from Sunriker Systems. No kids, retired early from all the stock benefits. I work for privately held companies, never had any stock. She had all the stuff from Sun, completely different life. I had kids, the family I was Coach Mike, I was a dad, and suddenly my career's bossing me once I got divorced. It's just the way luck happened. She thought I should be analyzed because I'm too happy all the time. I go, Mom, you're 85, I live with you. Analyzed? What, you pay for my health care? Health care? Mental health? I go to Bible study every noon at Wednesday. You want to see? You want to come to Bible study with me and see how my health is? It's phenomenal. It's off the charts. I'm happy. I wake up at 4:30 in the morning because I can't wait to wake up in the morning. I have so much to accomplish. That's where I'm at, and I'm 59. I lost 70 pounds. I'm starting to look good naked. Ooh, I said that out loud. I'm starting to look okay. Not good, but you know what I mean? It's clicking. And I need help. Go to hike up Mount Machu Picchu in Peru again. She needs a little help there. That's all she does is hike wherever the hell it is. Sorry, wherever the heck Machu Picchu is. Peru, right? That mount, thank you. She doesn't even know where that is. Peru on the map? I had a D in geography, I think. I like traveling to Europe. Okay. The point again is, the stress was from internal. It's your own loving family. Why does my daughter give me stress? Because she can. I listen to her and my mom more than anybody. My ex-wife sending those all bold caps, I just swipe right. I see swipe all bold caps, that's from Linda. I'm not gonna read it. There's nothing good gonna be in all bold caps. You won't say I miss you and love you in all bold caps. I ain't having it. There's nothing good, swipe right. That's a joke. When in doubt, swipe right. You didn't think we were far from this, did you? Everybody has a pool of suspects, correct? In selling, well, there's a product or service. It takes forever, sometimes, doesn't it, to narrow this group of, I don't know yet if we're even a good fit. And trust me, that's so much of what, as selling a service, I do too, you know. I'll be honest, how do you position yourself as a motivational speaker, sales trainer, comedian with a virtual sales coach background? And I love that. How do you put all that in one sentence in a 30-second commercial? It's a hard thing. But you try to find up this common ground if you have any need. Flip it around. Do you have any need at your company for anything like this? I'm a Carnegie trained, I'm Kohler experienced. Not that it limits me, but it sure got me in certain doors that got me in some bigger companies because of the Kohler experience. You know, $1 billion company. Yeah, why don't you come over here? Help us out at IBM in Rochester. And I did one of those, which is really cool. You get a letter from IBM saying you're a pretty smart guy. I mean, even if they said I did a wellness program, but I'm still a pretty smart guy. How do you get it from suspects to prospects? How does that normally happen? Anybody? I'll be honest, it happens because we ask great questions, right? The best thing salespeople can do ever is be a great questioner. Why do you choose to do it that way? For how long have you done that? Did I not ask the appropriate questions I thought when you guys came in? How long you been in sales? What did you do there? What's your official title? I want to know those things. I do love titles though. I met some really neat salesy titles. I came up with one the other day. I love it. A profitability consultant. Everybody should change their card from sales to take this back to your manager. I'll be proud. I want to change it to profitability. I want to help my customers and clients make more money. But you're selling a service. That's how I do it. That's our in. They go, well, that's kind of cool. Well, let me help you do that. Then what do you do well now? Well, let's just get together. We need to get together, right? That whole thing starts that way. I told to the plumbing guys. I had 3 wholesalers change their cards from sales rep or what was it called? Fancy. One was account manager. What's that? Doesn't tell me anything. I manage accounts. That doesn't tell me you're in sales. That's more like program manager to me, internal. So we're not saying profitability yourself. Just put that there. See what happens. Then you go see a plumber. It's another plumber. Well, help me make money then. Go on it. You're holding out on me, Jim. You know, and then you banter back and forth, and you say, well, why don't you align your purchases through us? That help you make more money. Because the more you have coming through us, you get that incentive trip at the end of the year. Remember the cruise that your wife wanted to go on? Remember that, how tied together? The more volume you buy from us, that makes you a smarter business person, and you get a cruise. Well, yeah, but their prices are lower. No, they're not all lower. A few are lower. Some of ours are lower. It's a horse apiece. You know that, Bill. Come on, take a look at the cruise again. Your wife really wants to go to the Bahamas. You ever been there? How good did I do? Just change the topic. How quickly did I handle his objection? I didn't found it. Remember that one for handling objections? You guys are smart enough, I think, to get one. I understand how you feel. I felt the same way too once. But one of my customers tried this, and it worked. almost like a testimonial referral in a field found handling an objection. I love objections, right? As salespeople, initially, I bet you hated them. Oh God, that objection. I want them to see me and say, I love you. Let's buy today. That don't happen, right? Well, your price is right on. What a deal. Well, fantastic. Sign here. How about 8 of them instead of 6? You try to upgrade the sale, right? All the funny stuff. Does that make sense? Is that clicking? It's funny. I want to review my own sales career in my head when I'm going through this. Suspects to prospects, asking great questions. And finally, how do you get business? This is this nugget of gold. I call them the nuggets of gold. They come out one at a time. They're never fast enough. And doggone, it feels like I've worked so hard for this one thing. Great example of that is Vincent High School. You know, I finally got in the door at Vincent 5 times to speak at Vincent, a city school, my first city school in Milwaukee. I realized why I took 5 times. The challenges they face every day in a war zone like that is unbelievable to me. Being from a suburban USA, okay? 2 girls fights stopped the assembly that morning I was coming in. 50-person girl fights. I mean, half the junior class was beating up half the senior class. We can't have an assembly. We do not want to reward them with you after we just said, go to your room and button it down. We got the cops coming. Well, I can believe that. Okay, next. 5 times we had to change that. I got a call from this last night at 5 in the morning. Call me anytime. I think he's questioning my invoice, which was half price of my normal school fee program. This is what our discussion will be today at 9:30. What did this come up? I sent you 3 emails. All said the same thing. You're my first city school. I said half my normal fee to schools. I want to get into one city school because my son's a Milwaukee Public School psychologist. I could permeate them and help the cause and be the one outside voice that might be Caucasian they ever hear in their life that has value and sounds like a coach or a favorite teacher. Don't you want that in there? Don't you need that? Well, yeah. Okay. There's the input, you know? She's in a call and we'll argue about nickels and dimes. And he wasn't even there. He had a funeral to go to. So the principal introduced me. My contact wasn't even there. So how'd you hear the program went? Well, I heard it went okay. I said, it went better than okay. I had 2 people come up after and go, you changed my life right there. These are 17-year-old kids. One was the guy that answered the first trivia question correct, which you get a copy of my first book, or this is my second one, the first one's there. The trivia question is this one, and I'll give it away today, right now. How many letters in the Hawaiian alphabet? Anyone? I'll be honest, it's less than 26, like the English alphabet. How many letters in the Hawaiian alphabet? You can guess. I'll give you all one guess. First one? 24. 24? No. Nope. 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 13. Congratulations. Half of ours. Isn't that amazing? Half of ours are in the Hawaiian alphabet. You know, like Ka'ana, Paui, Maui, Nahai. All those things are from only 13 letters. This guy at school won the book. The second guy came up and I thought I just adopted him. He was 17, he said, I don't have a father. I wrote a book at 14. I want you to look at it. Can I send it to you? My name's Jim. And I could just send something special on it. Principal said, I saw you meet Jim. Jim's with special needs. I used to coach basketball at special needs adults. He took me up to his class, met his teacher, took me around the hall. I felt like just being Santa was introducing me to friends, you know. I gave him my card and said, if there's anything you ever need, call me, I'll help you as best I can. You know, I'm like a coach, I'm like a teacher, I can be a mentor. I have a son that's older than you by twice, but I'm here for you if you need some help. And then I remember Zig Ziglar once told me when I was a speaker, I started out, I met Zig Ziglar. Anybody else ever? Okay, you know who he is though, I can tell you. From Texas, we're about 10 minutes of being done, by the way. From Texas, and Zig said after his motivational speech at the arena, the old arena, I went to meet him, got a book, signed it. I said, Zig, I aspire to be just like you. Your first book, See You at the Top, I couldn't put down. I read it in 2 days, and I want to be a speaker just like you. He goes, great, 2 pieces of advice. What's your name again? Mike. Mike, be yourself. Don't be me. You don't want to be the next Zig, you want to be the first Mike Piron. Is that how you say it up here? Yes, it is, sir. Yeah, Mike Piron. You're the first guy there. Secondly, always show up. Mike, there'll be days you don't feel like traveling. You've got to go. you go to say hello to people that are loyal and showed up, paid a ticket price to get there. Some travel their whole life to see you, and they finally can connect at one place, and you're that one guy they want to say, shake a hand to. You changed something in their life, you made it better. You've got to go everywhere you promised you do. Don't ever not show up. Boy, be yourself and go and show up. That's gold medal stuff. Tell it to your kids. I mean, that's what grandkids even. That's something that sticks. Be yourself and always show up. Half the kids that don't graduate GEDs don't show up. We know the dropout rate's insane. You gotta show up. By showing up, at least by osmosis, you might soak up some knowledge, if nothing else, in conversation with friends, and even pass a GED test, right? But you gotta be there by osmosis to have that soak in, right? Or it doesn't get there. So great advice from my friend Zigzag. I'm gonna jump around again before I close with my sales 10 commandments, and then we'll have Q&A. How we doing? We okay? You guys good? What a great audience. And thank you for the eye contact. I'm feeling a real good vibe from each and every one of you. And I'll be honest, when you have the smaller the group, you're always looking for the same vibe. And I'm searching every eye, they're all good. But you know, as you present to other people, how tough sometimes that can be. It's tough going from Vincent when half the group was like this, the other half was the hat down. It was right before lunch. And wow, can you schedule me a tougher time? They have no breakfast, they're starving. They're 17-year-old kids, and it's before lunch, and no girls in the room. Jeepers. Really? Are they even be awake? I think it's not off time, but I let them fall asleep. I can't. It's too much of my time. This is something I put together years ago, but I wanted to cover it because I think it's that important in sales. It's funny, but it's true. What's the most trusting color shirt you can wear? This is based on data and knowledge. I didn't argue with this. The most trusting color you can wear. Even though I'm wearing black, it's not black. It's a thinning color. I wore this because the first time I wore my Hawaiian shirt, everybody said, you look huge, dude. Thank you for laughing. I did look really big the first time we taped, didn't I? It was that shirt. It was loud and maybe looked like 800 pounds. Okay, it's not black. It's not white either. IBM was famous for white and blue and gray ties and or that stuff, the IBM color. Anybody else have a guess? It's not white and black. What are the most trusting colors? Blue's in the hunt. It's green. Green, color of money. For my podcast, I wear my green Italian shirt, the really tight one. It's a comedy podcast. I'm between two guys that are interviewing me for an hour. It had to be funny and stand out. So the green really looks bold and bright. But it's green. It's a welcoming thing and it's money. Okay? And green is a comfort color, if you will. My mom loves purple. She's 84. Every woman I think over 40 looks great in purple, by the way. Purple's a great color. Probably your hair color too, red. Purple would be great if you don't already know that. Purple's probably a great color for you. It's okay, that's good. Yeah, but that's a great. I look good, ironically, in pink because I'm so big, physically big, and I'm usually dark complected. If it's summertime, I'll get really darker. And I'm 6'4", 3 bills ish. I need a softer color to say less threatening, because even if I get up on stage, that's a lot of guy coming at you. You know, he's a little. But if I wear pink or something calmer, it tones me down, and that helps. If that makes sense. I did some color analysis because, and you ever notice how all those people on like TV game shows are always one solid color? Who's famous for that? Typically they have the groups, two families like, dueling each other. Bill Richard Dawson wants to kiss everybody. Yeah, Family Feud, that one. They're all straight, solid color, no plaid and mixes, because in the background they were looking disgusting. Remember like the red and blue family, or the watch them. I do color. They must all dress them professionally because they don't want to come up with the potpourri of different colors, which is how every family would dress. Number 2 was to build trust. Use what? It's an open-ended blank here, but it's really 2 words. To build trust. What 2 things come to mind? We talked about this before. What 2 words? One's an R and one's a T. Build trust. Relationship's good. One's referral. To build trust, the other one's a T. Testimonials. Now, anybody else use testimonials in their selling? They're great. They're very effective. I mean, I used the testimonial last time I presented here. Dr. Jack Anderson recommended my book because I helped Paul Anderson put on 20 pounds before the summer of his senior year in basketball at Appleton East when they played Brian Butch, when Brian Butch and Appleton West won the state championship. Brian Butch has hence been a professional player, 7-foot guy, All-American in Wisconsin, retired as a radio show now. He's a good friend of mine, Brian Butch. But he knows of the game they lost at Appleton East because Paul Anderson pushed him around. because I worked with Paul for 3 months, putting on 20 pounds, weight training in the summer. And Dr. Jack Anderson, his father, put a testimony on the cover of my back of my book. Mike knows his stuff. We hired him to personally train our son, Paul. Paul is a doctor to this day. The doctors of Anderson love me, right? That's a testimonial. Now, Sue Anderson, no relation to Paul and Dr. Anderson, once said in Appleton, the nicest thing I ever heard about me. It's really sweet. I coached soccer for her son and her daughter because they were on my son and my daughter's teams. And I know nothing about soccer. You know, it was early on in my coaching career. My kid went to play soccer. Well, there's the net. I'll do a throw in. That's about all I know. And don't use your hands. My knowledge of soccer. But we won the state cup because we had a great attitude. We didn't quit. It wasn't me. I just had some really good players that get out there, let's go get them. Keep your feet on the ground and throw it, right? What advice can you give fourth graders? So anyway, they win the state cup and all this stuff, and they stick a microphone in your face. How did they do it? I said, I don't know. Ask the players, right? I don't even know much about soccer. But Sue Anderson said, Mike Piron is a cross between Tom Selleck and Lou Ferrigno, and he's nice. Now that's a nice quote. I mean, if you have one, you take your grave. That's cool. So thank you, Sue Anderson. Number 3, the average sales call used to take 21 minutes. How long is it now? Anyone want to guess? It used to be a 21-minute sales call. This is about 10 years ago. You want to guess at what they're now? Average sales call.
That cold call or?
Good question. Phone calls are 3 minutes. It's a cold call, believe it or not. It's less than 21, but more than 3. Yeah. Anyone want to guess?
7.
Close. 9. Thank you for putting it right around it. Amazing. You know, people say, I'll come over and we'll get the other. That's 9 minutes. That's all you had? Go to my number 1 rule in sales. Oh, by the way, we're right on time because I want to end with this. The number 1 rule of sales, my 10 commandments of sales success. Number 1, add value. If you can't add value in those 9 minutes, you wasted 9 minutes of my life. Now, what does add value mean to you and I? Give me some information about a product. Tell me about your services. Let me see the full gamut of what you provide. Let me think about it. Give me some time, right? That's basically all selling is, right? Well, just tell them that's what we're going to do. Just give me a little bit of your time. I'll tell you how we lay everything out. If you have any questions, please just interrupt me because this is an open-ended book. I'm not free, you know. We're not free, but we're good. But you have to understand where we're coming from, and I just want you to get it and hear it from me. If you're, you know, and you can call me. Here's my card. I'm 24/7. I'm your guy. You know, however you want to present yourself. But it takes 9 minutes. But you have to add value every time you're together. Otherwise, you're a waste of time, right? I'll go a little bit in conjunction with these two now. Number 4 on my little quiz that I had years ago when I had 3 hours instead of 1. It was in building value. It's P plus Q plus S, right? We talked about this before. Price plus quantity plus service. Pick any 2 out of 3. That's in building value. Remember? So if anybody ever questions your price, this is important. You did not build value enough. Remember the old teeter-totters. Picture, if you have to do the verbs, visual picture, do it. Put price over here with the price sign and put over here value and quality. Because you have to build up your own company's value and quality more than price. As soon as you're more than 51 and 49%, they're buying it. But they still think your price is more than that, right? They're not. And that's why you always talk value and quality. You talk value and relationships and referrals and testimonials. Let me tell you about our quality. I got that right quality. This is new cutting edge stuff. What we're doing now is off the chart. No one's doing this, right? It just has to be that way. That's the only teeter-totter they're evaluating. If they actually are ending up with the price is lower than them, they better buy from you. If they're not, you didn't ask the right question, which is what? Can you close on us today? Can you sign today? Can I leave with an order? However you want to say it. Doesn't matter how you. We always worried about how we used to ask for the orders. I don't care. Ask. Right? My mom goes, how do you do it? I said, Mom, I'm asking a question. I'm not insulting them. I'm practically giving them a compliment. You made a great decision. Guess what? We are better than the competition. I agree. That's why I'm working for these guys. I like to work for the best. I don't want to work for the worst, or even people in between. We are lower priced, surprisingly, because we have better quality. And you know what? I'm here right now and I want the order. So what's it going to take? I'm not leaving until I get it. Say something. I like your fish on the wall. I mean, neat, but you know, I do like his fish on the wall, a big old, walleye or something. But what, I want this order today. Well, are you not the right person? Now that's what I would ask. If you're not the right person, I apologize. I thought you were. It did say general manager on the door, though, didn't it? Maybe that's where you, what's your title again? Well, yeah, but I have to. What? I have to hear what you say. I didn't get that. You have to what? Is there an owner you gotta run a by? Is there somebody I don't know of? Your wife? Help me make this. What is there, right? I don't mean to downplay that, but I'm just saying, if there's something that's holding up, you gotta find out what that is now. That's the best time. Just ask, right? I sound making it sound so simple, but it really is. You don't have the question, or you have the question and don't have an answer. Ask. My mom would say, that's ballsy. I said, no, that's not ballsy. It's being a salesperson. You were in real estate? Well, I never asked the question. I said, Mom, didn't you say, why are you selling your home? Didn't you ask it the first? Well, of course, that's the most important question a realtor should ask. Why are you selling? I have to give an answer to people looking at it. Why are they selling? They're going to ask it. They should. I would. Why are they selling? Well, the basement backs up. I want to know that, right? No, it's not that. They're retiring and moving to a place up north. They have a cottage. It's really a house. It's on a lake. They're done with upkeep here. Their kids are all moved away. Something. It's got to be a reason they're selling. Ask the question if you're in real estate. I wish realtors were here. I'd almost make them better, but they think they know it all. Objections are what? Your friends. You're right. The best salespeople ask what? You know this. Great. Thank you. You guys are smart, sharp. The toughest objection is not about price. Oh, one of my favorite questions. The toughest objection is not about price. It's the one not asked. You did not do your homework well enough. You did not ask the proper question. At the end of an initial presentation, when I'm with someone the first time, I will finally say this, almost like Columbo. Remember how Columbo used to come in and investigate a scene? You know, squinty eyes, that ruffly coat. I'm just not seeing it. I need to see more. He goes, I'll be back. Oh, just one more thing. That's it, right? It's always the one more thing. Where were you the night of the murder? What heebie-jeebie? What a heebie-jeebie? What's that mean? What's a heebie-jeebie? What's that? Where were you again? What did I tell you? No, I don't have the notes. Where were you? You just incriminate yourself like crazy, right? What did he do? He asked the final question. My question when I come back in the room is, if I didn't, I apologize. But is there anything I asked that's very important to you that I did not ask today? It shows we're human. Add that in your bailiwick if you need that one. It's a great one in selling products. You know, if there's something I didn't touch on today or something you need to know, is there anything I didn't ask today you need to know? And just see what they say. Oh, no, you're good. Whatever. That's fine. We're good. You know, great. That's what I hear. But if there's anything I didn't ask or you need from us that I didn't care for, or I didn't know about, is there? Let me know, please. If you think about something, here's my card. Text me, call me, whatever. I don't really care. Whatever communication style is good for you is mine. If some people prefer text. You know, get more done that way. That's great. I prefer text. Let me know how you're thinking. Still thinking, no decision yet. That's all I need to hear, you know, because I've got a lot of balls in here going, I need to know dates. All I do is sell dates in the future. Someone said, August 27th, can you call me? My daughter's getting married. I can't. I got a thing with the group from Iowa coming into Milwaukee. And I'm hoping to do more stuff in the group in Milwaukee. You know, that because I'm keeping it open. That doesn't hold you to anything. It just means, you know, whatever that is, it could be something. So I don't want to double book. That's not fair. And I said, when I book it, do I ask for half down? I have to. I'm blocking a date of my life for you. Even if I turn down a $10,000 sales training for Kohler at a retreat up north with Mr. Kohler, I have to say no to it because I got $500 for you to show up for comedy for 1,000, right? That's how I treat my business. But you have to give me respect. That's how I have to do it. Unless it's Vincent, then I don't pay any down payments, which is a whole different issue. That's a joke. The two biggest challenges salespeople face are P and F. What is this? The two biggest challenges we all face are P and F. What could P and F stand for? Anybody? I'll be honest, I'm at a loss here. I forgot what the answer was. What are? I think the P is perception and fear. I think it is. And fear is, you ever heard the expression for what fear is? False expectations appearing real. Fear, false expectations appearing real. Fear doesn't exist. My fear for me, we're 5 minutes from being done, so hang tight. My fear for me was dumping in the deep end of the outdoor pool here at Grafton High. when I first got from beginner to advanced beginner, you had to jump in the deep end of the pool. And Jim Miller, our swimming instructor, was sitting there waddling going, "You can do it, Mike." It was off the 3-foot board only. 3-foot board, come on. So I did that one, but I'm tall, so it looked higher than me. Remember? When you're tall, it looks deeper and farther down than just 3 feet. I did that. That was to get from beginner to advanced beginners. Remember that we had intermediates, junior life saving, senior life saving. Senior life saving, I had to save Jim Miller, who's an adult now, and works security at the Grafton basketball games. I still get him with this. And I'm 6'4", 300 pounds. But back then, I was 14. Tall, skinny, insecure. You have to do an underwater surface dive when they're struggling, active in the water. Everybody in life saving before? You have to underwater surface dive, you know the bit? And get down there underwater and turn by the ankles and turn around to save a surviving, panicking person in the ocean or water, lake or wherever. Because they're gonna grab your head or the tallest thing to save their life. That's the way human instinct works. And you're gonna be tough with it. Well, I turned around, he slipped. I mean, then he started punching my head and jumped on top. Well, I popped him. I'm under, and I hate the blue water. It was really dark blue. I popped him right in the chest. He stood there. I broke something. Popped him right here hard, like a stiff arm, like in football. And he jumped it back up and got you now. And then you take him by the, get him out. So we still joke about that. I think he lost a tooth in there because he's got one tooth. But that's Jim Miller. Fear, though. Fear stops most people. Why? False expectations appearing real. They're not real. The blue end of the pool scared the heck out of me. They painted it dark blue to give the kids an indicator. Light blue shallow, dark blue deep. I never knew that. I was a kid. Someone had told me that. I was afraid of the dark blue area. And then jumping off the high dive. I had to jump off the high dive. And you thought, well, that's no big deal. You're a teenager, right? Yeah, I was a big chicken. I don't like rides at the circle and carnival. I never did all that. I don't like heights. I'm a carpenter's kid. Oh, boy. Run across the rafters carrying 2 boxes of 40-pound nails. And the rafters are stud to stud, and you're 3 stories up. That's what a carpenter's kid would do. My dad's way over in the corner. Go, hurry up, I need the nails. I love my dad. Hurry up, I need the nails is a scary thought. But there's nothing but me and 36 feet of gravel in the basement below, and you're 3 stories high. And my dad thought that's nothing doing that. He does this all the time going, I need those nails. So where are they? I'm looking through the cracks. I see nothing but gravel. I go, Dad, I don't think I can do it. I need the nails. Dad, I'll get him halfway. Oh, I'll come get him. I mean, that's literally, he was so anti-fear going on a farm and fixing everything. And I just didn't have that. So I had to go to college and get a job, or I wasn't going to make anything of it. But as he once said, it's okay. You need to hear that when it's all said and done. You're a good son. I would have done what you did, but I didn't have your talent. That whole thing about skill set. We talk about that when I talk to high schoolers. I put a circle in the middle and said, this is your skill set. Branch off and have lines going to whatever interests you in life. Make it passionate. What moves you? What do you want to do? What do you see yourself doing? If time and money didn't matter, what would you like to do? I love that question. Meaning, what's at your heart? Is it selling insurance? Great. If it's selling cars, great. If it's building and repairing cars and stock car racing, great. Whatever that is, make sure it's on the chart. But put your skill set, it's got to match what that is. If it doesn't, you got to improve it. Almost done. We're good with the bonus list. We covered most of the things on the success commandments. You saw the second one, profitability consultant, pretty self-explanatory. We talked about that. Third one, upsell, pretty basic. Everybody can upsell. At Kohler, we used to upsell from a 2-piece toilet to a 1-piece toilet. People say, well, how do you do that? It's a toilet. Well, the 1-piece toilet looks better. It's sleeker. It's a quieter flush. So if you have teenagers in the middle of the night and they're flushing in the hall with their friends over, you'll hear 15 flushes after pizza night. They go, then go, wow, So how do you sell toilet sound effects? Outsmart, outmarket, out-hustle, think priority management, put enthusiasm in your selling efforts. Listen more than you speak. I didn't do it today, but this is more of a lecture. I apologize. Ask great questions. Don't quit. And finally, my favorite, invest in your selling career. What do you guys do for ongoing education in our career? And what do you guys do? I know what I do, but what do you guys do? Anything in sales? We come into this, bonus points. I salute the people that even step out here. If you don't do this, what are you doing? Anybody else? Do we do anything beyond this? Read books? Anybody? What obviously sales books, strategy? Yeah. Oh, excellent book. One of my favorites. selling to Vito. I'll do a commercial here. It's not the Italian guy in the corner office. Vito, V-I-T-O, selling to the very important top officer. It's outstanding, is it not? Outstanding, selling to Vito. Anything else that we do to sharpen the saw as salespeople? Nothing else? Books are great.
Industry seminars.
Solid. Oh, have you ever presented one?
No, I haven't.
Now that's a neat step as your own leadership career goes. I presented a number of National Kitchen and Bath, NKBA things in Chicago and Dallas. In fact, one, Jack Kemp, remember Jack Kemp, Republican, ran for president twice. I voted for him twice. I said, Jack, I got one more vote for you if you go one more time. I can't, Mike, I'm done now. He was the opening speaker at the NKBA in Chicago. I was the keynote. I said, Jack, can you introduce me? Well, Mike, I said, Jack, it'd mean the world to me. He did a 30-second intro when I met him in Sioux City of South Dakota. He's walking into the Hilton Hotel in Sioux City, and I'm a sales rep for Kohler at the time. I said, remember I met you in the lobby? I do. You were the tall guy, curly hair, looked like Greg Brady. I said, that was me. I approached, this is 20 years before this moment. And I said, just do me a favor, just remind them that's how we met. That'd be really cool. So he gets upset. Well, I met this guy in the lobby of the Sioux City Hilton in 1987. I think it was a year married, right, Mike? Yep, you're right. And anyway, he impressed me. He looked like Greg Brady back then. Here's Mike. You know, that's all I got from Jack Kim. It was awesome. It wasn't taped. It was wishing these things taped. No one can appreciate it. But it goes back to, you know, how you touch people along the way, and what's important, and how to build trust. I'm ending with something that's not here. Talk about how important stress is. Oh yeah. One of my favorites in sales. You can use this like I do. I use this usually when I get off a conference call with a company. Kohler company, I had a conference call, went really well. I ended with this. If not me, then who? Fair question. If not now, then when? I have so many people putting off the decision. Like what I heard. We've got a new computer program. We really got to get up and running. It might take a year. I said, a year to get a computer program up and running? Get him over a weekend, get the job going on Monday. Are you kidding me? I lectured the guy. He's a wholesaler in the South. I go, dude, you don't spend a year and doing what? Waiting for your competitors to pass you by? I trained your competitor down the street 3 years ago. They're fired up. What do you wait? We're not a good fit. Or you need to come to Jesus. I mean, I literally had, because the South people are very, sorry, I'm a North guy and I'll talk like it, but you need to hear tough love too. You're behind the 8 ball. They're not buying from you number one choice. You're the second and third choice because they either don't have it or they're overpriced. You get the third look. You want third look or first look? On quotes. You want the first look and the last look, don't you? You want the last shot. I always killed to be the last shot. Call me last. I'll take care of you. Come. That's all that trust again. And I'll do everything I can to run up the flagpole as far as I can because I know I got the last call. And I said, I trust me. This is the last call this guy's making. Job is now. Do you want this or not? And take it to my boss's boss's boss. Did it everywhere I worked, and it worked. But this reinforces again. It might not be me, but then who? And just leave them with that one. That sometimes is enough. It might be a day or two. They might text you back going, you know, let me revisit this. Give me a second. Yeah, give me a little more time, right? And if it's not now, then when? Like I said, I have a lot of people putting off decisions about training. And I'll come back with what? What are you putting it off for? Are you people getting better by osmosis? No one does. Do you have a different program you're putting in place? No. When's the last time you trained them? Never have. Do I see a need for a virtual sales coach? Tell you what, why don't I volunteer to do a 1-hour sales coaching with all your staff for free? I'll tape it and graft it and send it to you on disk or however you send stuff with text. Review it, watch it as a team, then see if they do a verbal poll. Would this guy help our firm? Would you like him to come in once a week to talk to us? Or to visit with us by this way? I'll tell you what, I'll cut my fee in a third because I don't have to travel then. And you know what? That's working. Now, I didn't come up with that on my own. It took a lot of noodling to get around to what really would help these people benefit. And unless they want me to travel with their team, and some then do, but some do before and after, they want to see you in action first and get to know you almost. I said, that's fine. But I'm non-threatening. I'm not tall, I know, but I'm not that scary looking, right? I'm understandable. I've been there too. I trained 24-year-olds since I was one once. I mean, it's okay. There's no wrong and right answer either. It's us driving down the road and giving advice. been a fantastic audience. I went a little longer than I wanted to, but that so ends our formal presentation. Thank you. Now Q&A opens up because we're done with that. Any questions at all? What anything? Techniques, strategies? Okay, how about this one? I'll ask one. What keeps you up at night? That's one of those great questions that owners have. You have to ask an owner of a business, what keeps you up at night? You should tell you. It's either trying to find good people, right? How to get more business without doing any more expenditures, right? That ties into sales. Do we need more salespeople? We have to train them better. We're always available for good salespeople, always want additional training. We seek it out. And I do. I still do. I love going to, I love hearing other opinions. I love going to seminars that are so far disrelated from mine. It's funny, but I still can learn from it. And that's kind of why I use so many different examples of either plumbing. I didn't use any travel examples I could have. I was in the travel industry too, selling a service versus a product. And in travel, I sold a trip to Hawaii without having been to Hawaii. How'd you do that? I said, romanced it. Do you want to go to Hawaii with me? I get to go too. We're in Maui for a week. How bad can that be? Even if it rains every day, we're still in Maui, right? Well, yeah, I guess the ultimate incentive. Everyone's going to Hawaii. And then you can extend before and after. What? Well, we put a package 3 days before and 3 days after if you want to stay longer than a week. Well, that'll interest some of my really experienced travelers who say, I'm not going to Hawaii unless it's for 2 weeks. And they say that. There's a damn long flight from Chicago. Well, sure it is. It's 3 naps, 2 meals, and a movie. Come on. Or one of my books times 12. It's a 20-minute total read. Right? How far is Hawaii? Who cares? It's 3 naps, 2 movies, and a book. Right? It doesn't matter. You're going to Hawaii. That's the whole point. That's why it's called Hawaii. It can be called Dubuque. You don't want to go there from 3 hours. You could. I'm sorry, Dubuque. Sorry, it's my joke. Right? It's Hawaii. So I sold it sight unseen. Maui, in fact, yeah. And then the Turtle Bay Resort, because someone sold me on the resort. It's on the north shore of Oahu. Familiar with the islands of Oahu? Oahu is where Honolulu is. Okay, not the big island, Hawaii, which they say it's Hawaii, but there's nothing there. It's just a big island. It's a big rock. Oahu has Honolulu and Pearl Harbor. And on the north shore of Oahu is the Turtle Bay Hilton. It was the Turtle Bay. Now there's a movie from, oh shoot, I don't remember movie trivia now. The Turtle Bay has all the waves crashing from the north shore. The best bonsai pipeline is the Turtle Bay because it's the farthest north island and they get all the big waves. My brother Bob is a body surfer. He got married in the Turtle Bay just because I told him about it. Oh yeah. Well, they're divorced now, but he loved the Turtle Bay. Questions? Anything about sales? I know I talk fast. Hopefully you got it though. I sense real good feedback though. Great communication. I appreciate that. Please take a muffin and some fruit with you. An extra water for the road. I'll give you my card if you need it. I've got some articles up there. If you want to buy a book, they're only $10. I can sign it for free. And you know what the neat thing about my book is? It's written from a dad to a dad. Yep. It's 20 minutes total read. A lot of white space. One idea per page, because men, we are simple-minded animals, aren't we? One idea per page. Thanks for laughing. My whole preamble is the first 7 pages. You'll laugh, I hope, and chuckle. The back page is just me and where it came from. $10. And if you do read it and you like it, do a review on Amazon or Balboa Press. If you don't like it, give it to your neighbor, and I really don't care. That's a joke. I care a lot. But if you don't like it, don't do a review. Because one lady did a review, it gave me a 1. I think it's my ex-wife. Straight up, the 1 is still out there. It's 1. From South Dakota, her name is Sue. I go, bullshit. I've never been to South Dakota, and Sue doesn't know who I am. No, Sue bought my book out of the blind and said, well, it didn't hit on the right mark. The right mark is a man to a man who hates cardio and lost 50 pounds in 4 months. What don't you get? That's what the title said. Hit the mark from fat dad to fit dad in 4 months. I just did the mark and just did it again. I was 370 last summer before my dad passed away. Excuse me, 3 summers ago. I gained 20 pounds a summer for 3 summers. I was up 370. I'm 305. If I turn to the side, I might be under 290 now. I just did it again. You know what? To gain weight, that's easy. Just eat and drink and don't move. Guess what? To lose weight, you have to eat and drink the right stuff and move a little bit more. What's a little bit more? You don't have to do cardio unless you love it. I know you love it. Hiking, you're like my sister. You're hiking, you're biking, you're all this fun stuff. I just lift weights and eat food and sleep. Because when you sleep, your growth hormone goes off. Did you know that? 20-minute nap is fat burning and makes you cut. When you sleep, your growth hormone, if you're a man, releases. Testosterone, like you're 20 years old again, goes through your body. It's a fat burner, by the way. It's an unfair advantage, ladies, and I know, I apologize, not my job. I didn't decide who gets it what. Testosterone is a fat burner 24/7. Men have an unfair advantage to burn fat. We eat right. We train hard and heavy 3 times a week with weights, intensity, 45 minutes tops, drug-free. You train 2 hours and 20 minutes a week. That's it. And I'll get you cut in 4 months if you eat right. What's that mean? Protein shakes with egg whites. That's how I eat. It works. I did it again. This works even easier. I'm not even hungry. I had a bagel this morning at the bagel shop. A bagel. I have 1 a day. I don't have 6. I love it because it's my carb load for the day. And you have it before noon. It's burnt up before my nap even happens at 4 in the afternoon, or at 6 whenever the nap happens. They'll take one after dinner even. Growth hormone released after 20 minutes. Then you wake up and you're a new person. What that means, like it means like you feel like you're 20. I'm 59. I feel like I'm 40. I feel phenomenal. My skin is better. I look tan. I'm not even tanning off season. It's the color that just makes you happy. What else can I tell you? It's working. You know what I'm talking about. So take any handouts you want. My business card is here. If you want somebody for comedy I'm great at corporate events. I'd love to do a police thing. By the way, I offered that for the one guy that met the first time I set up my room. I just have a wonderful respect for the law, and I'd be a great. You guys want a backyard barbecue kind of comedy thing or a pontoon boat tie-up thing? I'm funny at both. But and I can't wait to do the stuff I got with the group from Iowa. I'm doing comedy in front of dueling pianos at the Hilton DoubleTree, right next to where this group is staying. So that's a neat thing for the Legion. And I use a lot of my dad's VFW and Legion humor because he was a funny guy and he had funny stories. But I also do golf course stuff with Rodney. Who stepped on the duck? You know that stuff. And I was visiting with Dave Albrecht from Kohler. Dave was a friend of mine from Whitewater. He's the head pro up at Black Wolf. Then he went to Whistling Straits, and now he's the head pro at the other course. I'm also a resident comedic guy at the new Bull in Sheboygan Falls that the guys from Cedarburg own. Dunphy and Randy Groth, they bought it, okay? I said, guys, I'll be here. Every golf outing you have, I can do 20 minutes of comedy. When the people are getting their food from the buffet, and they're already tired, they played 18 holes, they already had enough to drink, they're burnt, they're tan, you gotta hurry home, but there's a dead time where they're shoveling food in their mouth and no one's talking. I've been there. That's why I do comedy. We'll have them spitting food up and be funny, because I'll do all of the Rodney stuff. So anyway, I'm kind of, anything else? I'm rambling, I apologize. You've been a great audience, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Boy,